Kia ora and thank you very much. Thank you and a big welcome to my launch. Let's just open with a karakia. He hanore, he karoria ki te atua. He maungarongo ki te whenua. He whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Amene. Well, welcome tonight. We're the launches for Courageous Conversations. And for those of you who don't know me very well, I'd just like to introduce myself for a minute. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is me and my 4 grown-up children and my husband Tony and his daughters. So altogether we've got 5 girls and 1 boy. And now we're starting to get our mokopono, our grandchildren, coming in. So it's all very exciting. And that's us meeting our newest one just recently, and our youngest son Jack and his beautiful wife are expecting their first baby, which makes number 5. It's my mum and my dad and one of my daughters and my dog Annie. So she helps me work in my office, so that's why she's in there. So tonight we're going to be talking about courageous conversations with your team. And as you can see, being a mum, and also in my day job, I work as a mediator, mainly in the area of family dispute resolution. But my kids have definitely inspired me for the work that I've been doing. And sometimes parenting teenagers was really, really tough. And we did have a particularly tough time with 2 of them. And once we'd gotten through all of that, I started to think about what I could do to support teens to be okay. The first resource that I made was an art journal for young people called Make a Splash, and that's an interactive art journal that takes the user through creative prompts to explore some of the tricky things our teens have to go through. So I launched that about a year ago, and the first print run ran out, which was amazing. So we've printed some more, and there's still copies available to buy on my website shop. It's also an ebook format. So you can check out my website, michellepete.co.nz. And then I started to think about an online course for parents of teens, because if we're doing okay, it supports our teens to be there okay. And if our teens are doing okay, it supports us to be okay. So it goes around like that, eh? Well, that's how I started to think about courageous conversations. So over the past year, I've been working on this course and I'm very excited to share it with you. So the course encourages you to continue to build the relationship with your teen and takes you step by step to manage the difficult conversations we need to have as parents. It has 7 videos, like modules, that are perfect if you're time strapped. So in each module, I speak straight into the heart of the topic, and the topics include looking at our own patterns of responding to conflict, so do a little bit of work around that, and how to build ease into our communication and the steps needed to prepare, set up, and manage a courageous conversation. The tools I teach are based on the restorative methods I use on a daily in my mediation work. I'll just share my screen again and I will just show you what to expect when you buy the course. Right, so once you've bought the course, it will send you an email that says you are now enrolled in Courageous Conversations with your team. And you can access your course on Teachable. So if you haven't already got a Teachable account, it will take you through that. And this is the course here. So you'd come in. Oh, this is the example of it, but this is the example of the modules here. So once you bought the course, you can access all of your modules. Got some previews if you want to go and have a little look around. So yeah, in Courageous Conversations, I'll be there taking you step by step, building those respectful relationships with your teenagers. So yeah, that's a little bit about Courageous Conversations. So what I'll do now is just invite you, if you've got any questions for me about the course, now would be an opportunity for you to just unmute yourself and ask away.
Hi, Michelle. It's Ange here. Hey, just
Hey,
wondering, how long does it roughly take to do the course from start to finish?
well, there are 7 modules. The longest module video is about 10 minutes. A reflection journal for people to just think about the learnings that you're having throughout the course. So what I'd suggest is that you do one module at a time, even though the video is only, say, maximum of 10 minutes. It invites you to go away and put some things into action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so for instance, you might be looking at, if you are just like looking at, okay, so how am I responding in these situations? Because I'd like for us as the person doing some new learnings to just take notice for a little bit. So I encourage parents to I'd encourage you to just do one module at a time, and it will just take you step by step until you're feeling confident to set up, arrange and manage the courageous conversation. And what I'm also offering is, when people buy the course between now and the 3rd of April, I'm having 2 free Zoom sessions, so people can come in and we'll talk about where you're at, any questions, tips. Yeah, so that's a bit of a bonus for buying in the launch period.
Okay, cool. Because my job, I actually work for an NGO in Te Awamutu, and part of my job is helping people with their parenting and stuff. And so I sort of thought, oh, it would be beneficial for me, as I have a 15-year-old who I swear has his ears painted on. But we're very similar, so I think we clash a bit. But I also thought that because Te Awamutu is just little, we often find it hard to get the numbers to have parenting courses specific to age groups and stuff, and I'm sort of always on the lookout for something where I can point parents. So something like this would be potentially really helpful. So it's always good to know roughly how long it might take them and what they can expect and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of my motivation, sort of a double-edged sword behind having a look at what you're offering.
Oh, that's really cool, Angie. I think people will work it at their own pace.
Yeah.
But if I was doing it, I'd probably enjoy doing it maybe one module a day, say. But if you felt like you just wanted to build some of those communication skills up before having a courageous conversation, which is basically a restorative conversation, you're trying to bring back some peace into a ongoing situation. But it might take your parents a wee bit to just sort of process their own stuff a little before being ready.
Yeah.
Or even just building their teenagers up a little bit, because some people are quite scared to have conversations like this, and they'll avoid them, and that's okay, like if you're not feeling confident. But what this course does is really build that confidence. So it's just a really small step by step, and they'll start to see the improved relationships before they even get to have that conversation with their kids, because that's the module steps. Something else I did the other day too, if you go onto my website, you can see on there self-care, and there's 3 free sessions which I ran last week, but have recorded and set up for people just to access, and they can just have a little taster, like if they like my style or voice or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's sitting there for people to access as well. And within the journal, there's a lot of, within the course, there's a lot of bonuses that I've put in there. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's lots of goodies in there.
Okay, no, look, that sounds great. Thank you. I'll go and have a look at the self-care stuff shortly after I've had
Oh,
my dinner.
thanks, Ange. That's so neat to have you here.
Thank you very, very much. I will go and have a bit
Thanks,
more of a
Ange.
look, and yeah, and it's looks promising. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cool, and all the very best with what you're doing there. Look, certainly a good thing to do.
Yeah, appreciate your support. And I'll just close in a karakia. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa. Te atawhai o tō tātou ariki a ihu kraiti, me te aroha o te atia me te whiwhinga tahitanga ke te wairo tapu ake, ake, āmeni. And yeah, thank you so much, and feel free to contact me anytime.
Cool.
Ka kite anō.